You know, at Who Weekly, we're always diving into the latest rumors, like who's dating who, and who'll be on the next season of our favorite show. Well, here's one rumor we need to squash. The idea that Discover isn't widely accepted. Truth is, Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. That means it's accepted basically anywhere across the country. Don't pay attention to every rumor out there, but remember, it does pay to Discover. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
You will dream it.
Yo, they wanna know. Hey.
Mia.
Hey.
Mia.
Come on.
Hey, I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger.
I'm Lindsay Weber.
And Brie Larson is joining the Fast family.
I can't think of anyone less
less fast and less furious than Brie Larson?
literally, she's the opposite. I mean, I know that she plays a superhero, but when I think of Brie Larson, I don't think of Fast or Furious.
When I think of Brie Larson, I don't think of anything remotely resembling high octane.
Yeah, there's no danger involved there, really. But it is interesting because it is Fast and Furious. There is a heartwarming, family-friendly vibe about that series, even though it's about like driving fast cars dangerously.
Yeah, but the thing is, when people
it's almost like Family Ties meets not family. You know what I mean? It's almost like Full House meets Car.
Well, they have these when they throw new people in the middle of the franchise, not the OGs, but like when they threw in The Rock, it was like, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
I get The Rock. Like The Rock has an action vibe. As like, oh, she's starting to make her name for herself as like occasionally a side hustle as being like a really intimidating action villain or action like woman. Brie Larson, I know she did Captain Marvel, but like this is very peculiar to me.
Also, we're trying to end this series. We're on movie number like 14. We can't just
She's gonna be
bring
on 10.
Brie Larson in there.
She's going to be
We
on
can't
10.
just enter Brie Larson. Vin Diesel's like begging The Rock to make an appearance, and then Brie Larson's like, hello. Hello.
Excited doesn't even begin to explain how I feel about joining the Fast family. Handshake emoji. Car emoji. Thank you for welcoming me in with so
emoji
much
is so
kindness and excitement, Vin Diesel. Can't wait to share more when I can.
And he wrote, yeah. You see this angel on my shoulder cracking me up. You say to yourself, that's Captain Marvel. Clearly there is love and laughter in this image. What you don't see, however, is the character you'll be introduced to in Fast 10. You have no idea how timeless and amazing she will be. Timeless in our mythology. Beyond her beauty, her intellect, her Oscar, haha. Okay, fair. Is this profound soul who will add something you might not have expected but yearned for? Okay, Vin Diesel Vin Diesel has a way.
Welcome to the family, Brie. That's my stomach.
Wild.
My stomach in the middle of a cheese board. Welcome to the family, Brie. So weird. Fast and Furious 10 pre-production. The other new people in here. Jason Momoa makes sense.
Any like big guy, right? Like any if like Channing Tatum, I'd be like, he just got another big guy. Like, where are the big guys? You know what I mean? The Harry Potter Hagrid or what's his
Hagrid?
Like, he's a big guy.
You think Hagrid's coming to this?
No, he's not. But I'm just thinking of other big guys. The guy who played in the Game of Thrones guy. That guy's huge. The big guy. He played
really
the Wall.
big guy. The Wall is only leading me to the wall in the north. Oh, the mountain.
The mountain. I'm sorry. What's the
his
difference?
name is literally Thor. Thor Bjornsson. Well, his nickname is literally Thor.
Thank you. Okay,
yeah, he was
not
big.
the wall, the mountain. I was close.
That's one of the bigger guys.
Whatever. Yeah.
That's one of the bigger guys, I think.
That's what I'm saying. If they added the mountain to Fast and Furious, I'd be like, makes sense. We got another big guy in here. Like, we need that's perfect. How is he going to fit in the car? That will be the challenge. Okay. Brie Larson, she'll fit in the car.
She'll fit in the car. We can't expect much from Brie Larson, but she will fit in the car, so that's good.
Brie Larson rolling up in one of those like really ugly late aughts VW Beetle reboots that they had with the flower in the dash, being like, "Hello!"
Straight out of the Mandy Moore Candy music video,
Thank
you know.
you.
A 2002 Volkswagen Beetle was what. You're right.
Right, like not a vintage one, like the rebooted version, the Apple commercial.
My dashboard
version.
glows orange.
Yeah.
Didn't the Jettas glow orange? I always thought that was so cool. My friends who had Jettas, I was like, there's no car better than this.
I was just talking about people who had Jettas when we were in high school. They were all bitches. It's like crazy. If you had a Jetta in high school, you were a bitch. That's like true. Can you disagree? I was just telling Joel
I
this.
just can't. One of my best friends had a Jetta, but she was occasionally a huge bitch. But like, that's great.
I don't make the rules.
I'm in tears. Oh my God, I love those. Oh, like 2002, 2003 Jettas. Oh my God. I didn't think it got better than that. I didn't think it got better than that.
Me, I drove my parents' old Volvo until it died, and then guess who got the new Volkswagen Jetta leased? My little brother. Little bitch.
Bitch. Little bitch.
Little bitch. I never got
Little
to touch
brother.
it. I had to go to college.
Brooklyn Beckham got a $500,000 Jaguar, so
Brooklyn Beckham married a bitch. Canonically. Was this the wedding of the season? Was this the wedding of the century? Like, what's going on here?
I was texting this to you and Timmy last night, but this is literally alchemy. This is what alchemy is. That we are talking about this, that the Daily Mail wrote as many articles about this, that they got on the cover of Vogue. I
You're saying it's alchemy
understand.
like you don't believe, like it doesn't deserve.
It doesn't deserve this.
You're saying something wicked happened to create the interest in this wedding. It is a
wicked
wicked
deals,
force.
wicked
Yeah.
spells, wicked
Yes.
relationships,
Potions.
just wicked pills and potions all over the place. Okay,
Pills and potions.
pills and potions.
Pills and potions.
Okay, got it. So you're saying this is devious, this is dark-sided, this is evil.
I'm trying
this
to
is malicious.
It's all of those things. Okay. The thing about this, though, that's driving me a little crazy is that I understand that it's notable when the child of a famous person gets married. I guess I do understand, like, that's part of my job to understand that that is just a simple truth.
You don't
But,
have
like-
to like reckon with your own.
Because I'm sort of like, why do we care? Well, I'm turning into the version of a person that we hate, which is like, who cares? I don't get it. And like, I would never say
No, I
that
get
because I
you're-
understand the way the media ecosystem works, the
You're
celebrity
not gonna
ecosystem
act
works.
flabbergasted
No.
that people are covering. But I think we've never
But-
said why is this being covered? You're saying why is this being covered in
Like
45
this.
different articles about who was there, who this, that. Like it's being covered in a way that makes it seem breathless, in a way that wasn't even anticipated by us.
It's being covered in a way that makes me feel, I'm going to say it, gaslit, where I'm just like, don't pretend like you ever cared about this. You
I mean,
know,
they got
like
the exclusive in Brooklyn, and oh my
British
God,
Vogue.
in British Vogue.
Brooklyn
so
Vogue.
like, it is. That doesn't surprise me at all because Victoria Beckham obviously is like a big. It makes sense for Victoria Beckham's firstborn to have a place in British Vogue.
Yeah.
But it is like the way that the Daily Mail kind of sucked up to the entire thing is very interesting. The question for you that I have is, do you think the interest is there? I know we care about all this bullshit, but does anyone else really care?
I really think the answer is no. I think people care about, I think it's like, it's hard to make this, every time we talk about celebrities from other countries, it's difficult. Like, I do believe,
Fair.
I feel like I can understand Victoria Beckham and David Beckham as like immensely famous, you know, in their homeland. So I'm trying to reckon with the fact that like, okay, they're really famous, so I guess it makes sense that we care about their kids, but I'm pretty sure we don't actually care about Brooklyn. So this is really about David. This is about Bex and Posh, right? But even then, even knowing that, I still think it's too much attention. It's too much prestige, glossy. Wow, aren't you so blown away by this? It's royal wedding adjacent, you know?
Well, that's what I'm like. I'm thinking like maybe the mix of like the amount of money involved and the celebrity is what boosted it to the next level. Because it's like, yes,
It would be one thing if Brooklyn Beckham married a superstar from another country who was like a very famous actor, singer, model, something like that. Nicola Peltz is not an icon, to put it bluntly.
but
you know?
okay, but to play devil's advocate here, I don't know. I know the devil's now been involved deeply in this whole scenario, but still here is. She's so rich that part of this, you know how the Daily Mail sometimes just covers rich people's weddings. They love like a wealthy, you know, they love
Or Vogue does.
They love an
Vogue
heir
does
or
too.
heiress. Vogue does too, but I'm thinking of Daily Mail because I was just reading about some other like rich person's fantasy wedding. Like they like something that's truly expensive. So like it it kind of makes sense on both of those levels. Also, maybe the reason why they're going overboard is because they had so much access via paparazzi, and they said, you know what, let's just go for it.
Let's just publish every photo that we get. And we
let's
will
just
get so many.
Let's publish like all these weird bad drone photos of Melanie B, you know, like or Melanie C or whoever.
Well, the
was
first
there.
photo, I believe it was the first
And
photo.
there were
correct
some
me if I'm
A-listers
wrong.
there. There
Yeah.
were some A-listers
But
there.
that's the thing. I was going to say that I completely forgot to. It would also be another thing if it were the event of the season, but plenty of people kind of famously at this point said, I can't go to this. You know, like even the other Spice Girls were like, I can't go to this. Only 2 of them
Well,
went.
some did.
Only
Which 2?
Mel C, only Scary and Sporty went. Ginger and Baby just said, I can't go and didn't explain why. Ginger said, I'm going to Australia to be with my husband. So we didn't get the Spice Girls reunion that we were
That's kind
promised.
of actually rude. Ginger's like a British, like a socialite now.
Ginger said, I'm going to Australia because her husband was going to be doing the
Racing in a
Australian
car.
Grand Prix. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, a source told The Sun, quote, Jerry has been accompanying Christian where possible on all his work trips. They're hoping to get some downtime too. Baby just said, Baby posted a photo of like her and Posh or something on Instagram and said, these 2 beautiful souls. Oh no, she posted a photo of Brooklyn and Nicola. These 2 beautiful souls are getting married today. I'm sorry I couldn't make it there to celebrate you both. We love you all very much. That's it. But we don't say like, oh, I had a doctor's appointment. I had to wash my hair. I had to go to like Sydney. You know, there's no explanation. She just, which is honestly like expert move on Emma Bunton's part. She's just like, couldn't make it. Love y'all. Bye.
I mean,
Jerry
it
didn't say shit.
I have to say, she can't even get her Spice Girlies to show up to the wedding of the season. It must have not been such a
Scary and
priority
Sporty were
wedding.
there. Good for Scary and Sporty. Both
Who
Mels.
else was there?
Both Mels.
Wasn't Eva Longoria there?
Eva Longoria was there. Well, that's the other thing. It wasn't a huge A-list affair. There were definitely famous people there, but
Gordon Ramsay.
the
and
most
his
famous person,
daughter.
I think, the most famous American person was definitely Serena Williams. The reason I know Serena was because Serena was photographed with Daniel Blasberg, and Page Six identified him as Alexis Ohanian, her husband.
It's not. Is his name? Is it Derek Blasberg?
Derek
Is it
Blasberg. Daniel
I was
Blasberg.
like, what did you
Derek
say?
Blasberg.
I would say he was the least famous person there was Derek Blasberg, but he's everywhere. So he's
everywhere.
like, you know who was also there? Jonathan Jebin.
I saw that.
You know who was also there? Fat Tony. Do you know who Fat Tony is? DJ Fat Tony.
Yeah,
Daily
DJ
Mail
Fat
headline.
Tony. Yeah.
Sometimes I love my job. DJ Fat Tony is joined by partner Stavros Agapiou, as he provides the music at Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz's wedding reception. They got their own Daily Mail article. Like, that's how crazy this is. A guy named DJ Fat Tony got his own Daily Mail article with his partner because he just was at Brooklyn Beckham's wedding.
Timmy compiled every single, which is, God bless him, every single Daily Mail headline about the wedding, not the lead up to the wedding, but about the wedding itself. And there were, at the time of recording, 24. That's 24 in about 36 hours.
Every single article about this wedding involves a timeline of their romance
Mm-hmm.
and copy and pasted the same exact, like, the ceremony ended at 6:30 p.m. Although Jewish weddings on a Saturday, the Sabbath, strictly speaking, should not be conducted until the sun has gone down. Sundown is 8 p.m. in Palm Beach. They scolded them for doing it wrong, according to Jewish tradition, which I would argue, I'm not sure they're worried about Jewish tradition in that way, but respect.
But they do bring up her Jewish heritage. It's always like her quote unquote Jewish heritage in every single story about this. Yeah.
They're reminding you she's Jewish. Yeah, it seems like Serena was maybe the biggest star.
I think
in
Serena was
terms
the biggest
of
star. And Serena was also in like one of the most easy to spot outfits too. She wore like a
Neon
fuchsia,
pink.
like a hot pink. And so she stood out among like all the boring people who were there.
I'm kind of surprised that, Nicola Peltz, I feel like was or is friends with other like famous girlies. I'm just surprised that none of them, showed up that we know, you know what I mean?
I don't know that I can off the top of my head name Nicola Peltz's famous friends. But isn't it weird? So let's read some of these. Here's a description from the Daily Mail. The friends who then joined the young couple on the dance floor reflected Brooklyn and Nicola's respective showbiz worlds, as well as famous members of the Beckham family's inner circle. Gordon Ramsay was also there. Mark Anthony took over the DJ decks. There were Hollywood heavyweights, including actors Rashida Jones,
Mark
Kiernan
Anthony?
Shipka. Yeah, Mark Anthony was there. Kiernan Shipka, Michael Bay, M. Night Shyamalan. This is parents' invites.
Wait. These are M. Night Shyamalan was there?
M. Night Shyamalan, Michael Bay, Natalia Bryant, and that's it, Natalia Bryant.
Oh my
yeah.
God, remember when we were on SNL, we were like, where's Michael Bay? He was in Miami at Brooklyn
He was
Beckham's
in
wedding.
Miami. Yeah.
I think these are a lot of Miami-based celebrities. Like, now that you're saying it, like, it kind of makes sense. Like, Eva Longoria, Mark Anthony, Jonathan Chebin.
Jonathan Chebin is. Rashida Jones is it. Kiernan Shipka's loves an event, though. Kiernan Shipka loves going to a friend's
I was
event.
going to say, why is Kiernan Shipka there? Was she just, like, free, available? Like, what? Was she cast?
She's got a lot of
Like,
friends. Kiernan Shipka has a lot of friends. But I guess it could be one of those things where, oh, you're in Miami. There's a wedding happening. Are you coming? Can you get in? Yeah, Brooklyn's getting married. Mm-hmm.
Right, and Kiernan's like, I can get into that. No problem.
This seems like it's not tough to get into.
You naming them makes it feel very loosey-goosey in terms of, like...
Thing I thought was funny, there were 3 at least credited musical acts. 2 Who's and 1 Them. I did notice that thank you for the most beautiful weekend of my life. That's Nicola Peltz's first Instagram of the event with the professional photos. You're the wind beneath my wings. She's thanking her father, the billionaire. So it's like, thanks for paying for all this, daddy.
You're the cash beneath my Jaguar hood or whatever.
Wind beneath my wings. Well, the Jaguar came from David. David
Sure, but you know
bought
what I
the
mean.
Jaguar.
You're the funding beneath my 401k forever
Exactly.
or something. you're the
trust
cash-
beneath my fund.
Right, you're the cashier's check beneath my new house or whatever.
Exactly. You're the guarantor beneath my
Yes.
all cash deal or whatever. I don't know.
Guarantor my ass. He's just
I
paying.
know. He paid for the whole thing. Okay. We already did the Spice Girls mini reunion. What was funny is that for so long, it was rumored that they were all going to be there. And there was a lot of hype coming up to it. It's like, there's going to be a reunion. There's going to be a Spice Girls. There's going to be a Spice Girls reunion. Then people started dropping like flies in the week leading up to the wedding. But since 2 of them came, as we said, the headlines that came from that were, they got a mini reunion. They got a mini Spice Girls reunion.
Yeah, it's not happening.
They just renamed
It's just funny
it.
to me that this wedding was not only supposed to have a Spice Girls reunion, aka all of them show up and do nothing, so it's not even like a
And do
good
nothing.
reunion. It's just like they're all in the same place.
They're
at
not
the
gonna
same time,
sing.
which is like fine. But the other thing that cracked me up was that there were all these rumors that Prince Harry was coming to this wedding.
And Meghan.
That Kate Middleton was coming to this wedding. Like that any of the royal family that the Beckhams have been so tight with over the years were going to come. It's like they're not coming. They're not coming to Miami.
The Daily Mail says that Kate and William literally were invited and RSVP'd no. They said that their source claims that the invitation came to them and they said no. We don't have that Daily Mail sourcing that Harry and Meghan were invited for some reason, but the Kate William invitation is apparently legit. They said no. Can't go. RSVP no.
It's just like the
Please
result
RSVP
is
at your convenience at thenot.com/Brooklyn/Nicola. Brooklyn-Nicola.
the like lead up to it. The wedding's impressive, I guess, but it's just funny that like so many rumors about who was going to be there, they just weren't there. So it's like, I don't know, 25, 27 Daily Mail articles later, here we are, you know?
That's why not everyone could go to Brooklyn and Nicola's wedding, because Ryan Cabrera was getting married on the same day.
On the same day. Is it the exact same day
I think so. It must have been.
or the same weekend?
April 9th. Yeah, same day.
The same day in Miami, Brooklyn Beckham was getting married. The other 2 Spice Girls happened to be at Ryan Cabrera's wedding to WWE star Alexa Bliss.
In Kempa Villa in Palm Desert, California.
Ryan Cabrera is the singer who wrote the iconic song On the Way Down, but he's more iconic for dating Ashley Simpson and being on the Ashley Simpson show.
He's more iconic for having that hair, a version of which he still keeps
And
to this day.
it's kind of unbelievable that his hair is the exact same hair. Like, I'm impressed with the heft and the weft. The weft? Yes. I'm impressed with like the texture. I'm impressed the hair is still very much the same look because everything from the hair down looks very different.
He toned the hair down, but not by much.
Right.
It's definitely not the same as it was, but it's close. And it's 20 years later. People used what could only be described as the obvious lead. Ryan Cabrera and Alexa Bliss have officially walked, quote, on the way down the aisle.
Wait, what? That's not obvious. That's awful. That doesn't even make any sense.
If you're
Wait, doesn't make any sense.
going to strong arm on the way down into your story about Ryan Cabrera's wedding, it has to be somehow related
Wait,
to a down
Ryan
the aisle
Cabrera
phrase.
and Alexa Bliss have officially walked on the way down
The aisle.
the aisle. No, that's not how it works.
It's definitely a first draft, but I can't really think of an edit.
No, I would be like, Ryan Cabrera's on the way down the wedding aisle, the aisle. Ryan Cabrera's on the way down the aisle, the wedding aisle. He's marrying Alexa Bliss. Like, there's a way to make it more sense.
Present tense, but present tense doesn't make sense after the wedding happens. Because if
Who
you say he's
cares?
on the way down the aisle, that's not true because he's already been down the aisle.
In my article, I'm describing what happened the day of his wedding, and on the day of his wedding, he was on the way down the aisle. I would love to hear your suggestion.
I think it's this. Ryan Cabrera and Alexa Bliss have officially walked on the way down the aisle.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think it's the only way to effectively make it past tense. It's going to be clunky no matter what. The couple sat down with people to give all the details on their wedding, which Bliss described as, quote, very non-traditional and, quote, rock star themed. I don't really see much in the way of things that are non-traditional or rock star, but
If you have people exclusive photos of your wedding, it's not non-traditional.
people who couldn't come, other WWE wrestlers, Nikki and Brie Bella, because they were at the Kids' Choice Awards.
They chose.
They chose.
In contrast with the serene surroundings of the estate was a giant light up "Welcome to the Shit Show" and hot pink carpet. Oh, it's like a sign that said "Welcome to the show" and a
Yeah,
hot
like a
pink carpet
neon.
that greeted their 360 count. Oh my God, guest list. That's which Cabrera says he weeded down from 608. Okay, we got a full play-by-play of this. As the guests arrived, they were able to pour their own glass of Campo Viejo Cava champagne from the bubble tap trailer as they soaked in the acoustic sounds of Tyler Ward and harpist Lexi Lowell.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, she's kind of more famous than him, Alexa Bliss, because she's like
For
pretty
sure.
big in wrestling, and
I
he's
think
like
absolutely.
not even that, and he's not big in music. He's just a millennial figure.
Mm-hmm. I think
Like,
for
we're
sure
kind of
she's more
making it
famous.
seem like he's the one, but honestly, she's the one.
Mm-hmm.
As for their guests, the couple told them the dress code was, what would Harry Styles do? You know what Harry Styles would do at this wedding?
Not go.
Not come. Yeah.
Not go.
He also had a reunion of sorts that happened in the middle of the wedding, but
It was also
it
a
was-
mini reunion, but it at least resulted in music, like an actual reunion.
at least, I mean, I'll take
They
the Spice
sang.
Girls showing up and not talking to each other over what happened at Ryan Cabrera's wedding, which is that the three, sorry, no offense, the three loser in sync guys got up on stage and threw on Bye 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 and did a little move.
The 4 loser in sync guys.
Three.
Oh, it was
three.
just. Oh, JC wasn't there either. Why did I think JC was there? Oh my God, oh God. I thought too highly of JC. He wasn't there either.
Three.
So it was Chris, Joey, and Lance.
Yes, only 3 were there. They got up on stage. They did a little bye, bye, bye moment. It's just funny because the headline that I saw about this was just that they reunited without Justin. So I thought 4, and I was like, okay, 4
Yeah.
is actually noteworthy. 3 is not even worth the headline.
Well, they did actually sing. They sang Bye 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 badly in front of people. I mean, this is very like the almost the after party of the wedding. Like the guest list has already dwindled by this point. Like,
Would you rather
oh no, I know what this question is going to be.
4/5 of Bye 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 get up and sing at, you cannot choose which 4/5. 4/5 of NSYNC sing, or the Spice Girls reunite but don't sing at your wedding.
Oh. God, do I just want the presence of the Spice Girls or the presence plus the singing of the lesser? No, it's Spice Girls. Oh my God, that's so easy. Why am I acting like that's hard? It's Spice Girls for sure. Like waiting behind Sporty at like the buffet line. This brisket looks so good, right?
There's almost something like even more depressing about only like 3/5 of the band perform, like
Yeah.
of the lesser.
You didn't even get a good rendition of the song. I'm sure if I had been there in the moment, it would have been exciting.
As Cabrera stated to People, this was not a normal wedding. Instead of a chicken and steak dinner, the couple opted to pack the reception with 5 branded alcohol bars and some snacks. Oh my God, that's dangerous.
So there was Patron, Amass Gin, Absolute Vodka, Jameson Whiskey, and wine featuring Nikki and Brie Bella's wine, which we've heard
Who
is
were
good wine.
Not there. Who
They
were
sent wine.
Not even there.
That's an expert move because they made money off of this event.
Dinner consisted of 2 food trucks, no assigned seating for 300 guests, and no wedding cake. Instead, they sabered a bottle of champagne.
I can't believe Brie and Nikki Bella didn't go to this wedding and they still made money selling wine to it.
Said wine. Maybe it was free. Maybe it was a gift.
Even if it was free, that's free marketing.
Now I understand that because there was no food and lots of booze, I get why 3/5 of NSYNC got on stage and sang.
I just wanna tell you that I had enough. Might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie. Bye, bye, bye. You guys ready to sing? Here we go. I'm giving up, I know for sure. I don't wanna be the reason for your love no more.
Other weddings that happened, Christina Hawk and
Secret, though.
Josh Hall got
secret.
secretly married
It's a secret
within
wedding.
the last 6 months. So is that exciting news? In the last 6 months, they got married. And the reason we know this definitively is because her real estate license has been updated to have her new husband's name on it.
Absolutely mind-boggling information.
Yeah, so I don't know. She is officially Christina Hall in the state of California Department of Real Estate. But it doesn't say when it was changed. Anytime in the last 6 months, though. That's
But it's
that's
funny
all we
because
know.
they secretly got married, but she very publicly just signed on to do a show with him on HGTV where they like renovate a house together. Like he's going to be on TV with her. So like it's not quite like a secret situation here.
This is the one set in Nashville, right? Yes.
Right, because she bought a house. She bought like a fixer-upper in Nashville, and now they're working on it on television. It's so stupid. It's called Christina in the
I
Country.
know, because she has Christina on the coast, and now she has Christina in the country, which
That
is
is
going to be a
not the
6-episode
country.
thing.
Send this
You
woman
know
to
what?
the actual country. Like, fuck that.
You know what? This is the reason this has all been secret is because she is so in bed with HGTV at this point that like
Right.
this wedding is going to be part of this special or part of another special. You know, like she has to save up the hype to hype up the show instead, you know? At this point.
Yeah.
She's putting some of it on HGTV, I think. She has to. This naming convention is also infuriating. Christina in the Country, Christina on the Coast. I can't wait for the other ones. As we found out, her husband is on Instagram. He has 34,000 followers and has a pretty funny username. I am the real official nobody. That's pretty good. Makes me kind of like him. I think he has a sense of humor.
Did they meet like doing drugs? Like he's
Yeah.
fine.
Like licking toads.
She's the one who's not fine. Like she's the one who's gonna definitely find a way to make this uncomfortable for all of us. I just can't believe she just like met this guy, married him, and now they're starring on a show together. Like everything is copy, as Nora says. Like it really is. Everything is copy. That is bad.
And you know who he looks like in this photo? Of them hugging on October 15th, 2001. His first post, Timmy says,
hot.
"Do you
What?
think this is when they got married?" Brody Jenner. There's some Brody Jenner vibes in there. Don't you see it?
I don't see it at all.
I think I'm just reaching because Christina's moving into Kristen's turf, aka Cavallari, and I'm worried. Things are not going to go well if the two of them end up at the same restaurant. Who would win in a fight? I'm talking fist fight, like physical fight. Just a real down and dirty fight. Who's winning, Christina or Kristen? Because I feel like that's close.
I'm sorry. No, Kristen will kill her.
See, that was what my gut said, but then you think about it, and I think Christina's got some fight in her. Honestly, I think put Christina or Kristen in Fast and Furious 10 over Brie Larson, and you have like what you need, the high octane you need in terms of
do
like blonde
think
white ladies.
that as opposed to many other women who've moved into her turf, Kristen is a little bit more wary of Christina on the coast. Sorry, Christina in the Country. She's a little more like, okay. I
Go back
see
to
you.
the coast, bitch. That will definitely be screamed somewhere on, I don't know, somewhere in front of the Ryman Auditorium.
It'll be graffitied across this new Nashville house.
Absolutely. Another wedding that happened.
Jack White proposed to his girlfriend on stage. Who is even a girlfriend? Jack White, who cares?
Lindsay,
White Stripes?
It's Olivia Jean. That's his girlfriend, Olivia Jean.
Oh my God.
She's a
okay,
musician, and they
great.
look like they're in the Addams Family, which
Oh my
to me
God,
is right.
great. I mean, Jack White, that's always been his vibe, right?
Yeah.
Remember when people thought he was married and or a sister to his drummer, Meg White?
Meg White.
Because they had the same last name, but then people were like, no, to either. But maybe they did date. See, that was always a mystery. But
They're not related at all, right?
I think they did date briefly,
But they're not related.
Meg and Jack. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
previously married to her. He was previously married to his White Stripes bandmate, Meg White. Okay, so they were
God, it's
they were-
in the doc, and I overlooked it.
I'm
How
sorry,
many
I'm
times
sorry,
have I
sorry.
learned and forgotten that Jack and Meg were once married?
It's one of those like trivia items that like, and then you kind of forget because the white stripes aren't like as relevant in culture as they were at one point, and people kept asking that same question. It's like, are they related? Are they married? And if the answer is like, they're not married, but they were once married. And she just kept his last name. Who even know if that's not even his last name? Who knows? Then he was married to Karen Elson, who is a model. She's the redhead. And he has 2 teens. And now he's married to the woman who was opening for him on tour, a.k.a. Karen Olsen. And she's got a very tall beehive and black bangs. And she's looking Betty Page, very Betty Page. And it works. He's got blue hair. I don't know.
It's weird to have like goth vibes at the same time as blue hair, but that's what's going on with Jack White right now. Aging goth with blue hair. Speaking of people who were more relevant 20 years ago, Avril Lavigne is engaged to Mod Sun. And they got a people exclusive.
Actually insane to me. They got engaged. Never have 2 people who are like, we're punk, been less punk. They got married. They got engaged in front of the Eiffel Tower. Like, it doesn't get less punk than that.
Not even in front of the Eiffel Tower, on one of the most touristy things possible, one of those little riverboats. Those, like, touristy riverboats.
He's wearing a studded belt with his leather pants pulled down in front of the Eiffel Tower. He has a blonde...
mohawk.
What do you call it?
A blonde,
mohawk.
Floppy mohawk, yeah.
Getting engaged in front... I love that, the idea that we knew that she was not actually punk. He... can never be called punk again.
I woke up the next day and that shit was viral everywhere on the internet. Machine Gun Kelly kicks out. Like, everyone saw it that day. Everybody in the world fucking saw that shit. Open up my Twitter probably a day or 2 after that, and it was like her fan page tweeted like, Avril Lavigne just followed Mod Sun on Instagram. And I was like, what? That's fucking crazy. So, of course, I go and I hit DM and I write,
hi, icon.
She was like, yo, that shit with the windshield was like the most punk rock shit I've seen on Instagram ever. Like, good for you. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh damn. I think I wrote back like, we're gonna be friends. She was like, cool, love that. I dropped Karma, I think like 4 days later, I dropped Karma. So she like hears this song and she's like, yo.
This fucking song's awesome.
Who'd you make that song with? Me and my boy John Feldman. Just you guys, just us, yeah. We record over in Calabasas, like, come through to the studio. Oh my God, I'm like working on new music right now. Like, we definitely gotta like work.
Yo, let's all get in the studio and fuck some shit up.
Okay, we know your feelings on using On the Way Down the Aisle in a people lead, but what about this people lead? Rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best. He was a boy, she was a girl, and they're going to get married. What do you think about that?
Oh my God.
Would you edit that?
That's awful. That's awful. Yes. Oh my God. No. Oh God. The problem with that one is that it's awful, but I couldn't even edit it. Like the other one I have issues with because it doesn't make any sense.
I would say, he took her by the hand and took her somewhere new. He knows who she is, and she's with him. That's bad.
Awful.
That's bad. That's bad.
He got down on one knee and she said yes. Could they make it any more obvious?
They were in love. They went to France. Can we make it any more obvious? Because that's sort of... Then you have to do a little mental legwork, you know? The day we met, I knew you were the one. Together forever till our days are done. I had a dream where I proposed in Paris. I pulled out a ring and asked you to wear it. I was on one knee as I looked in your eyes. You're too beautiful for my words to describe. I grabbed your hand and took one last breath. I said, will you marry me? And she said yes. I love you, Avril. Mod Sun, not a great lyricist.
No, I know. It's like, isn't that your job? Like... Isn't that your job?
His real name is, you can't even write something better than this. His real name is Derek Smith.
Mod Sun 35 popped the question with a custom design heart-shaped ring. Heart-shaped ring. Avril Lavigne, you are, oh my God, set in royal setting with little hearts from XIV carats in Beverly Hills. It has the word hi icon engraved in it, which were the first words he ever said to me. Hi icon. Oh my God, he literally was like, we stan.
I like it more than I am weed.
Okay, fair. And let's never forget, Avril Lavigne was previously married to Chad Kroeger of Nickelback and Derek Whibley of Sum 41. Incredible history.
Oh, another Derek.
And Mod Sun was last in the news, if you remember his name. You're like, why do I remember this guy? He was in a throuple, briefly, with Bella Thorne, who he dated for a while, and YouTuber Tana Mongeau.
I guess that's where Modson comes into the picture, Bella's boyfriend. And it's funny because meeting Bella and going into it in the beginning, I felt like there was this like tension between Mod and I guess you would say, in the sense of like, obviously Bella's his girlfriend. Here I am just coming in and Bella wants me here, but like she has a whole ass boyfriend and he wasn't my boyfriend and I didn't want him to be, you know, and he didn't want me to be his girlfriend. Like, you know, it was like this weird thing of him and I like sharing her. But at the same time, after time, it became so harmonious and absolutely normal to us. After the initial part of that being weird or different, Mod and I ended up just spending so much time together. It wasn't until we got in the studio and started making music and spending hours and hours talking that I was like, damn, this is one of the most incredible people I've ever met as well.
I haven't heard that name in years, Tana Mongeau.
Years?
Months.
Maybe year.
Which wedding would you rather go to if we're talking about insufferable normie former pop punk icons? Courtney and Travis's in Las Vegas?
No.
Or
Okay.
whatever Avril and I know Courtney and Travis are probably going to do a real thing later on, but I guess which two people would you rather watch make it official? Avril and Modson or Courtney and Travis?
I want to go to the shit show wedding. Alexa Bliss and
No,
Diana
you're not
Rivera.
allowed to go there. Well, you can get in. Anyone can get into that wedding. These two you have to choose.
These weddings haven't happened yet. Okay, I'd rather go to Maud's son Avril Lavigne's wedding because that's going to be
If you
truly
got invited
random.
to both and they were on the same day, Modson and Avril?
Maud's son,
Yeah.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I agree.
totally.
I think I agree.
Because that won't be like random. Like it's so random. The other one would be like, oh, I'd have to deal with like, oh, Kim's
Photos,
here.
yeah.
Oh, this person's here. Oh,
Yeah.
it's like this one. I could just have fun, you know, just have a good time. Do you think Avril will take his last name, and do you think it'll either be Son or Smith?
Avril doesn't change things. That's the thing about Avril Lavigne. She doesn't change things.
No, she stays
She's-
the exact
She
same.
is stuck in the year 2000.
She's stuck in the year 2000, but the culture is coming back to her. Like, if you think about it,
She waited it out.
the culture grew out of her. She stayed the same. She said, I'm just here. I'm still here. I'm with here. God, I don't even know. I can't even name like another song of hers.
I'm with you.
I'm still here. And then Travis Barker, bless his soul, brought the culture back into pop punk. Travis Barker and others. But, you know, it came back around.
I've been on her Wikipedia several times over the past few months for some reason, or for many reasons, and this line always makes me laugh for some reason. Her debut studio album, Let Go 2002, is the best-selling album of the 20th century by a Canadian artist. It's such a good fact. It's such a good fact.
Incredible.
Can you remember her middle name? I think we may have talked about this before.
Avril's? Mm-hmm. No.
Because Avril Lavigne is on her birth certificate. Avril blank Lavigne.
Like Rebecca? Ashley?
Close. It's an R. Think about children's books.
Rachel?
Children's books.
Rapunzel?
Typically, YA books for
Ramona.
Ramona. There you go. Avril Ramona Lavigne. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Can't imagine it any other way. Whoweekly.us is a Squarespace. It will always be a Squarespace. We love our Squarespace.
Even if they said no more advertising on this podcast, we would still have it be a Squarespace because honestly, it's just the easiest, sanest way to have a website on the internet at this point.
Yeah. I really can't think of another option.
No, I wouldn't even know how to do another option at this point. It's like it is a perfect way. I know they have all the features I need. If there's a new feature that I need somehow in the future, I know that they're going to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's something we need to do on this website that I can't even think of right now. I know that
As
in the future
technology advances,
that they will have our
I
back.
trust that Squarespace will keep up.
Well, because right now it's like, you know, we have our tour dates that we're able to change on a whim,
Very
which we
easily.
need to. But Squarespace does plenty of other things. They've got, you know, you could do a course, you could host a course, you could do analytics, you could do email campaigns, you can take payments, you can sell stuff. I mean, it's like
sell stuff.
we could do whatever we wanted on Squarespace, and I am actually comforted knowing that I could do that in the future.
Yeah.
So head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/who and save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. That's 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
I slept in a terrible bed at one of our dates this story. I won't reveal where it was because I don't want to be super rude, but the bed was absolutely horrendous. big dip in the middle. I couldn't. I was
Yeah.
always like rolling into the center. It was so bad. My back hurt so bad when I woke up. And guess what? When I got home, my favorite part of being home was getting in bed.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were like back into
finally,
my mattress.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's a real bed that was chosen for me based on a quiz, the Helix quiz.
Right. And sometimes when people use my mattress, they're like, that's a little soft. And I'm like, yeah, it's made for me, not for you.
For you.
Which actually even drives home the fact that it's so made for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I kind of relish in the I mean, I don't want my friends to be uncomfortable, but I'm like, I kind of am like celebrating the fact that it's like for my body, not for yours.
Mm-hmm. I just sleep so much better on my own mattress than literally any other mattress. And that's because Helix mattresses rock. I wake up, my back doesn't hurt. I wake up, I don't have night sweats. I wake up and I'm thrilled. I wake up and I say, I love you, Helix.
That's
so
incredible.
If you want to experience the joy that I experience every
the
time I
joy,
get in bed
the
and
satisfaction,
every time I get out of bed, you should go to helixsleep.com/who because you will get 25% off site-wide plus 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. Plus, get a free bedding bundle, which includes 2 dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order at helixsleep.com/who. That's helixsleep.com/who. Enough about marriages. Let's talk about like just a couple of sort of funny relationships. Last time we talked about Andrew Garfield and Alyssa Miller was, I think, a week ago.
I cannot believe we're still talking about Andrew Garfield and his ex, Alyssa Miller. Like, how is this like even a second time?
So they were rumored to have broken up. And after they were rumored to have broken up, like a day later, I think the evening of our recording where we said, they broke up, that's funny, never going to hear from her again, she posted a photo of the two of them in the back of a cab or in the back of a black car. I guess Oscar night or around Oscar night, both pouting for the camera, a selfie, and she posted, if you must gossip, at least use a cute photo. LOL, love you, AG, butterfly. And it was this sort of like inscrutable caption where it was like, are you back together or are you just mad about not using good photos? Like, what are you saying here? Because it honestly says nothing. And page 6,
I never saw it as them back together because we talked about them breaking up.
I
this
did?
Came out, and I was like, I don't think that we even need to change anything because I think that they're not back together. I think
well,
she's
my
just being cheeky.
my gut was they're back together, and you immediately text me back like, I don't think they are. And then when I read it again, I realized, wait, why was my impulse to say they were back together? This isn't saying that at all.
I think she's just being annoying and like they're not back together at all, which is really funny that
Probably,
there's this update because Andrew Garfield's quote unquote friends that are being sourced are like, it is weird that she did this or something.
My favorite thing about this story is that page 6, and that is the funniest and most charming thing about page 6, even though like whatever you want to say about like tabloid journalists, one of the most pleasurable parts of page 6 is reading a story that kind of has no purpose and that I think the bulk of their audience won't care about, but you can tell is just a personal vendetta between the writer and a celebrity. And this is very clearly, they were annoyed by that post and they were like, we got to get some dirt on this because they released this exclusive Andrew Garfield's friends, quote, weirded out by ex Alyssa Miller's lovey post.
No, it's
no
very
one
much
should
like
care about
somebody
this.
saw that post and said, that was weird, right? Like, there's got to be something about, like, that was kind of strange, like, that she, like, right?
Anonymous sources told page 6
Maybe they thought, oh, they're still together. Let's
Yes.
ask a few questions.
Yes.
Okay, fair.
But I love these anonymous sources who are apparently friends with Andrew Garfield. According to page 6, quote, they ended their relationship amicably a number of weeks ago. If she wanted to clear the air, why did she make the post so vague? From the outside looking in, it seems as though she was denying they split, but they definitely did. It's very confusing why she would do that. I love that. They're so mad at her.
So, yeah. But it's like, who are they? Like, that's what it's like, who are these? Who are his friends? Like, who? What? Who is speaking for him?
Well, then they reach out to either Alyssa Miller or her friends because the next day they published this exclusive why Andrew Garfield's ex Alyssa Miller posted a photo of them after breakup. And the anonymous source said, in no way was she pretending they were still dating. It was a very amicable breakup. She was just tired of them using old photos and also wanted to show that they ended on good terms.
Not to be weird, but this is not a good photo. Like, it's not a good photo.
It's blurry.
It's blurry. He's making a funny face. Like, they don't even look like they are together romantically.
No, not at all.
It is weird because it's not a good photo. It's
like the photo we took in front of SNL this weekend, in front of the sign. Let's take a quick selfie.
It's just funny that page 6 had the same thought that you had. Like, oh, are they still together? Is that what this is? And then, like, basically his team or whoever his friends are had to deny it. And then in defense of her even posting at all, her team had to be like, she was just having fun.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. It's like the behind the scenes of this is fun to think about. The behind the scenes of her just being annoyed that Page Six cares.
It's so funny. Meanwhile, liked by Who Weekly and 90,233 others. Like, that's crazy.
As you pointed out, it's her only post with the comments turned off. Clever girl.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Miller. I'm from California. I'm 22 years old. I have 7 siblings. There's 5 girls and 3 boys, so big family. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
I love Noor Alfallah so much. I love Noor Alfallah.
Al Pacino had dinner with a legend. I was like, we can't talk about Al Pacino. Like, Al Pacino's A-list supreme. But Al Pacino was seen exiting Felix restaurant after enjoying dinner with Mick Jagger's ex-girlfriend, Noor Alfallah, 28, in Venice. And I'm like, who is that? And then I realized this woman is truly one of our greats. Not only did she date Mick Jagger, she dated Clint Eastwood. And I'm not talking about back in the day. I'm talking about like last month. She's dating these men now.
The Mick Jagger one was more or less confirmed. The Clint Eastwood one was rumored, but the reason it was rumored is really funny. There is a photo of them together, but Clint's driving and she's in the back seat and they're leaving Craig's, and she said it was
so
a bit.
he was driving Uber and he picked her up.
He was driving. It's like, yeah, my dad, he's retired. He needs something to do, so he drives Uber now just to like meet people and talk. So Clint is driving her, but the reason the press was like they're definitely dating, even though she said he's just a family friend, is because there's a precedent of her dating older guys who I guess look like that.
She dumped Mick Jagger for a billionaire named
who was also much older.
Dohan.
Yes, she has a type.
Right. And then she split up with him because of their 4-decade age gap. Okay, but clearly that wasn't the issue because now she's dating Al Pacino, maybe.
It's not like he surprised her, like blindsided her 6 months into the relationship and said, Noor, I have to tell you something. I'm actually 81. Like, you know?
I know, it's true. It's like, you look 81. But it's funny because I was like, doesn't Al Pacino date Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend, Camilla's mom? And I guess they'd broken up. I guess they broke up or something. No more double dates for them.
Guess not. So they left this restaurant together recently just to do a final recap on her relationship with Mick Jagger. When it was covered, it got one of the headlines, one of the great headlines, which was, I can get Noor satisfaction.
A play on her name. Also, she met him through another fucking curse source because she's a producer. She met Mick Jagger through Brett Ratner. Like, truly like the bottom of the barrel here we're talking.
And she is a movie producer. She actually made non-relationship headlines in the fall of last year on Deadline because she changed jobs and now works as a producer at Imagine,
Brian
which is the
Glazer.
company owned by Ryan Glazer and Ron Howard.
Brian Glazer is like in a lot of these photos with her, like on her Instagram. And I was like, oh, interesting. She's part of his team. And this dinner that she went to with her date Al Pacino and Jason Momoa and Vito Schnabel, the art guy or whatever, for Julian Schnabel's Love and Squalor or something, like some event or whatever. There's a picture of all of them together with Noor, with Al Pacino,
with Jason Momoa.
And it's just like so funny because of course we get to this just through the headlines being like, why is Al Pacino dating like a 28-year-old? But this photo was the subject of quite a few headlines because Al Pacino, who's famous for always having his his iPhone headphones
the white
plugged
ones
into his phone,
the
but they're
classic
always
headphones.
plugged in. Like they're always plugged in. Almost he has this severe fear he's going to lose them, which I fully understand, but the headphones stay plugged in.
Yeah.
The phone is face down so you can see his phone case. And Marie Barty on Twitter noticed this iPhone case, zoomed into it and said, what is Al Pacino's iPhone case have on it? And via the detectives on the internet detectives, it was determined that it is Shrek. It is a Shrek iPhone case. Seriously.
And in case you didn't believe that, people reached out to Al Pacino's daughter, Olivia, who was extremely online, and said, hey, Olivia, is your dad's iPhone case of Shrek? And she said, LOL, yes. It is.
Well, it was funny because there was another photo of the iPhone case, and that photo happened to have Rita Ora and Taika in it. So I was like, this is pretty funny. So it was Al Pacino, Noor, Rita, Taika having an in-depth conversation because, of course, there's a crossover here. And you see his little iPhone there with the headphones plugged in on the table. And you can tell it's Shrek. It's Shrek.
It's Shrek. It's obviously Shrek. Couldn't be anything but Shrek.
I don't know who did the DM, but hi, Olivia. Sorry for the random question, but there's a bunch of people, including me, going crazy on Twitter because they saw a picture of Al in which it seems to be he has a Shrek phone case. Is that possible? Because it would be iconic. LMAO. Anyway, have a nice day.
The person who DM'd Olivia appears to be just someone on Twitter named Lara.
Very nice. Good job, Laura.
Who followed up.
Good reporting, Laura.
Lara _ on Twitter seems to have responded to Maria and said, I'm going to take matters into my own hands, and texted Olivia on Instagram. Yes,
Perfect.
it is.
Incredible.
Ha ha ha.
Incredible.
I found an interview with her on a website, womanfitness.net, and the interviewer says, what kind of films do you like to produce? What are your favorite movies to date? And her favorite movies are Goodfellas, The Graduate, okay, The Wolf of Wall Street, okay, and Harold and Maude, which I just thought was interesting and poetic, okay, that's cool. Also, her sister, who was another movie producer, Remy Alfallah, it seems like their mom is very like outspoken and has given interviews before, but I think the dad is just extremely rich and friends with all of these old producers. Like it really does feel like family friends.
It gives family vibes.
It gives we grew up in Beverly Hills and my dad is rich and is friends with Brian Grazer.
Spread of them of Noor in her house in Hello magazine, which is like old money vibes, and it says living the life in the spotlight, high-flying film producer Noor Alfallah opens the doors to her family's Beverly Hills home. So not even her home.
It's not even hers.
Home,
yeah.
As she reflects on her high profile romance, which is with Mick Jagger, because this was a few years ago. It feels very Rich Daddy vibes. Not saying like, hey, I'm sure she works at stuff, but it's very.
I'm sure she works too, but it's like it makes me think that she wasn't actually dating Clint Eastwood. Like, oh, that is literally just a family friend. Like, I do believe that wasn't dating, even though she seemed to have actually been dating Mick Jagger. And also, when you go to her IMDb, it's not like there's this robust catalog of movies she's produced. I was looking at there's not often like a reason to read comments, but the Deadline comments can be interesting sometimes, I guess simply because it's such an industry publication. So like sometimes there will be people who know or pretend to know in the comments. And there's like weirdly like a big conversation happening in the story about Noor and Remy's deal at Imagine, Brian Glazer's company. And people are like, I know both these girls and their parents definitely didn't hand them anything. They both worked above and beyond to get every opportunity. So freaking inspiring.
It's giving very like, look away, look away. No nepotism here, no nepotism to see here, no nepotism to see here.
Moving on, The Real has official. We talked about this being a rumor, but now it's official. Reported by Variety.
The rumor or not? I think we did believe it.
I think we did.
We were kind of like, why would this even be? If this is a rumor, this feels true.
But we have this report at Variety. They confirmed it. Warner Brothers said they, quote, opted to end the show after Fox stations declined to pick up another season. So I guess this is a syndication issue. And the move is not related to the launch of the Jennifer Hudson show. I've seen that all over the place. A lot of people are picking up on that detail where they're like, I guess there's a rumor.
There's a Jennifer Hudson show?
Yeah, her talk show. She's following the trend of like people who were more famous in the aughts.
Is Jennifer Hudson known for being like
Jennifer Hudson, if anything, Jennifer Hudson is known for being deeply private.
Right.
Like,
what is the...
It's very weird.
Is there even a trailer for this? Like, I couldn't...
There's not a trailer. There's not anything. It's like been in the news. It's official. It's happening. But like, we don't know any details.
That's actually so crazy to me. Sorry. Like, Jennifer Hudson is not known for like...
She's
like
not.
When they gave Drew Barrymore a show, when they gave Kelly Clarkson a show, when Jeannie Mai joined The Real, it was like these things all make sense.
Talkers.
Like, these women are talkers. Busy Phillips, big talker.
Big
like
talker.
Even Kris Jenner, oh, makes sense, big talker. Like, these are celebrities who kind of make their stake as somebody who's,
Or I'm a famous friend, I'm around.
Right.
Jennifer Hudson
like
is...
people will show up to see me and be on my show because they like me. What the fuck?
It's
Even
weird.
Nick Cannon made sense. This makes no sense.
Yeah, because Nick Cannon is like it's an Andy Cohen figure where he could talk for 100 hours and like never slow down. I didn't know anything about this because Jennifer Hudson, and especially after like she's gone through all these family tragedies too that I think have made her even more closed off from talking to people and like being like a public figure.
Has.
And
she totally has.
But I also think that is one of the things that has helped her. I think so many people who like the Oscar curse or whatever, I think Jennifer Hudson won the Oscar and then like kind of laid low, and that helps keep you interesting. It's like, that's like the A-list method. It's like, I don't go on, she's on social, she actually does tweet and Instagram, but it's all very like superficial stuff. Like she keeps herself extremely private, and I think that makes her seem way more like themy and famous and prestigious than she might actually be, because she doesn't actually like work all the time, you know?
Yeah.
It's really weird, but
It's
it premieres
just weird
in the fall.
because I do, but you're right. Like talk show hosts have to be even more vulnerable and open about their life stuff, because like you see the headlines Drew Barrymore gets, and it's like Drew Barrymore reveals like her sister was mean to her, like because she's basically she's talking to celebs and she's trying to relate to them, and you're like giving more of yourself. Wow, that is so. Anyways, surprising. I'm just surprised. I'm just shocked.
It's weird. It's coming from the Ellen production company, and the showrunners are coming straight from Ellen, Andy Lassner and Mary Connolly. I'm seeing that this is where the rumors are coming from. Fox, they were shopping it to all these networks, and Fox wanted it. Fox TV stations bought it, so I guess they're going to syndicate it, and that's why they're like, this has nothing to do with The Real, that Fox wanted them and not us, because Fox didn't like want The Real anymore. The pickup of the Jennifer Hudson show marks the arrival of a second American Idol alum to the daytime talker space. Of course, Kelly Clarkson and Jennifer Hudson, American Idol. Duh. But yeah, so Lonnie Love, the weirdest thing about The Real being canceled is that the only person, as of recording, again, April 11th, the morning of April 11th, the only cast member, host, co-host of The Real who has commented about this publicly is Lonnie Love. She is the figurehead of the show. She's like the number one of this of The Real. But she wrote, "It's been a busy few days, but I got a call from the studio. No, this is the old one." She goes, "In the end, The Real cast and crew did everything we could to scale the show down. We shot 7 to 8 shows in 3 days. No audience. Made a conference room into a studio. But in my opinion, COVID costs killed this show. It's been a great ride. And thank you to the studio for allowing 8 seasons of a show that was Emmy-winning and historic. Most importantly, thank you to the viewers for riding with us. This is not goodbye, but see you all soon."
It was a good show. She's not wrong, but it's interesting to me that COVID killed it, because I feel like how on the edge of dying was it? Like, what about, like, I get how COVID kills a Broadway show. I get how COVID kills a startup that involves, public space or a restaurant or whatever. But I get a little bit less how COVID kills a TV show.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's weird. Adrian only tweeted about like wanting to upload a YouTube video. No one else has said anything publicly, which is a little strange. Like nothing from Tamara, nothing from Jeannie.
So apparently the last show is in June, so it's actually kind of like far from now. So maybe they're waiting until they're saving their sadness.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. And who just got added to The Real? Garcelle, and nothing from Garcelle yet. Garcelle's still dealing with who threw her book in the trash. I don't really follow.
Erica did.
Now, Garcelle, there has been rumors floating around that you have not been playing any games with Erica Jane at all this season. But okay, we want to hear it from you directly. Garcelle, what prompted you to unfollow Erica Jane on social media?
Okay, all I can say is she called me something that I did not like. And so therefore, when somebody offends you in a way, I don't want to see her post. I don't want to put a little like. So I thought, I'm going to unfollow her. I don't want to see her post. Did I know it was going to cost World War III? Unfollowing someone is huge, apparently, because it was breaking news all over the place. Friends were texting me going, "I can't believe you unfollowing her. It's such a big deal." But it is, I guess it's a new way of saying, I don't like you, but I don't want to tell you, so I'm just going to unfollow you.
Or you did tell her, and we just have to wait to watch the episode.
Right, exactly.
But you also unfollowed her. It was a double whammy.
It was a double whammy, and people were outraged.
What was she wearing? Where was she seen? She posted what on Instagram? She's the Who Queen. Tens of people want to know all about the number one Who. Lindsay, Bobby, tell us now. What's Rita Ora up to?
Who is this woman?
Rita's in Utah, or was in Utah.
Rita's went to Utah with Kate.
With Kate Moss.
Rita had such a good time at Disneyland with Kate Moss that they planned a trip to Utah.
To the desert.
What's going on here?
They like...
What? They must really like each other.
Literally, they hiked. I mean, they hiked at least long enough to get a photo in what looks like a hiking path on the desert. You know, they were doing stuff.
If you told me this was a green screen, I would also believe you. I'm like,
it's just like
what
Rita's.
is going on here?
No one has bigger vibes than like no one has bigger, like, I just want to lay by the pool than Rita Ora. Like, she doesn't want to leave the house where you get the Airbnb.
Hey, Moss.
But, like, they're doing stuff out here in Utah.
It's so funny. Meanwhile, they probably like took a private jet right to the spot.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
Being taken.
I mean, they posted a photo of themselves in a private jet together, and it says "on the road again."
Somebody posted this photo, but they cut off the funniest part. Back in the studio, you got to see the whole photo. Rita Ora is in the studio in a bikini. This engineer is just trying to do his job, and Rita Ora is showing up in literally a bikini and a cover-up with. I'm like, Rita,
she has to be comfortable.
Put a shirt on.
She has to be comfortable.
Oh my God. It's just so funny to me that.
You think studios have a dress code?
Rita Ora is just like making music in a bikini. Like, I call HR. Can we focus, please?
She's joining Katy Perry, Billie Eilish, The Weeknd, Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, and others at the Global Citizens Stand Up for Ukraine concert. Oh, that already happened on April 8th. It already happened. Okay. The reason we know this is because Katy Perry Activity posted it.
Stop. Not
Thanks, Katy Perry Activity.
Not Katy Perry Activity. You know what's so sad, speaking of Katy Perry Activity? I searched Brooklyn Beckham fan, thinking I'd get some like fan accounts that were active. None of them had been updated since like 2012.
Oh no.
It was like so bleak. Like all of the Brooklyn Beckham fan accounts like stopped, like gave up.
Oh no.
Or were like, I'm over it.
There was one Brooklyn Beckham wedding detail that we didn't mention that I'm just going to save for the end now. That was so funny. So if you're listening this far, you get this detail.
If
January, when the rumor that all the Spice Girlies were going to show up and have their reunion at Brooklyn's wedding, the source who originated this rumor to The Sun, the full quote is so bonkers by the end. Okay, it was a lovely invitation and the girls are all excited to attend. It will be the first time they have all been together socially for some time, so they are looking forward to the chance to really catch up. While Nicola has opted to wear While Nicola has opted to wear two Valentino dresses on the big day, they will have their pick of Victoria Beckham dresses if they like.
Stop.
This source was like, they're going to come and they've all been told they can wear whatever Victoria Beckham original they want. Isn't that wild?
Do you think that was required for them to show up? They were like, if you come to this wedding, you have to wear a Victoria Beckham original?
I tried to see what Mel C and Mel B were wearing, but I couldn't get like designer. Like they could easily have been wearing Victoria Beckham originals, but I couldn't see like sourcing of what they were wearing. So if an eagle-eyed listener knows the designer that Scary or Sporty Spice was wearing, let us know, because there's a chance it could have been Victoria Beckham.
But you will be wearing the Mother of the Bride's line.
Isn't that wild? That's such a weird detail to throw into this rumor, which makes me think the rumor was legit. And I believe we're finished. Thank you for listening to another episode of Who Weekly. Keep calling in at 619-WHO-THEM to leave questions, comments, and concerns. Support us on patreon.com/Who Weekly for bonus episodes, commentaries, newsletter, Discord server, and more. Thank you to Katie and Eric of The Who's for providing our Rita theme song. Thank you to Timmy, our research and editorial assistant, for researching and editorializing. And rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. We've been getting more of those. We love to see your ratings and reviewings, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Bye.
You will dream it.
They want to know.
Hey. 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 I want to be famous.